Hey guys, Christian here. This is going to be week number 12 of Unfiltered. I'm doing a different format here today. Um, so basically, the problem that I was facing was I got really annoyed making the monthly video reflections, and I decided just to input a little bit more time into the weekly ones. And for the monthly ones, it's like I always had to wait like a week after until I finished editing it. So I'm just gonna try something new and different, see if it's easier. Okay, and maybe it'll be more fun too. Okay, so this week was a lot of fun, unexpected, but fun. So basically, last week I met this new friend at a hostel in Hollywood, and I was like, "Yo, you're gonna be here. Oh, I'm gonna be at Venice Beach next week. You should come stay there if you're gonna be here." And she was like, "Okay, cool. That sounds great. I'll book the rooms there next week." But so the week came, and then I was like, "Did you book the rooms yet?" And she's like, "No, I didn't book it yet." And then I was like, "Yo, what the heck?" Um, but so basically, I was a little bit frustrated because I was like, "Well, what are you? How come?" But what happened was, when I was in Venice Beach, I met this other lady who was really, really cool. So everything turned out for the best because if I was hanging out with my other friend, I probably wouldn't have met and hung out with this new friend. I'm here at Venice Beach and just feeling the vibe here. Everyone's really relaxed, fun-loving. It seems I already feel like a different energy. It's really something. It's weird. Cool. This new girl's name was Lucienne. She was from Switzerland, and how we really hit it off. She's like 35, and how we really hit it off was she's like a holistic healer, and so she does a lot of essential oils. She does Reiki. She's a Reiki master. She does kinesiology, so a lot of holistic stuff, and I thought that was like super duper cool. If you're a scientist, you probably don't believe in holistic healing, but frankly, I don't believe in. I believe science is money, whatever. Anyways, unfiltered videos. All right. But yeah, it was super cool. We had like so much to talk about, and she's a therapist, and like we were just working on each other in terms of psychology and stuff, and for her it was about she was living in Switzerland and she was planning on coming here to like just start a business, and I was like, whoa, that's so brave and crazy. And she was super cool. She was like taking surfing lessons, and then she was like, "Oh, you want to start a business? Here, we can start a business in Venice, Santa Monica." And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, that's like moving really fast." And I told her like of this other friend, and then I called her up and she asked my other friend, "Oh, hey, you want to start a business with me in Santa Monica?" And she's just so bold and daring, and I was just really cool. I was like, man, this girl is like super cool. But yeah, we're working on different things like confidence and courage and being accepting and like different, kind of stuff you work in therapist. And because I kind of do that stuff too, and she's like really good, we're able to go through a lot of different topics. One thing that we did go through, I think last week, I was talking about how I was embracing the fact that I'm a virgin. I'm like, oh, it's okay. And I was saying that, I think that in order to improve something, you first got to accept what you are, just accept it. And then from that point, you can be like, okay, I'm here. Now I can get a little bit higher. But basically, my mentality was like, okay, I'm going to try to like get laid or try to have sex, And she's European, so I feel more comfortable talking to her about sex for some reason, because I just have in my mind like, oh, Europeans are all about like having sex and stuff. I don't know. But anyways, she was like, oh, she used the word sex life. And I'm like, wow, it's possible to have like a happy, healthy, fun sex life. And to me, that's never been something I've thought about, because I've never I don't think my parents ever have sex, so I don't know what it means to have a sex life. I don't have any like siblings or brothers or sisters, and a lot of my close friends, like, you don't go around seeing people having sex, so I don't really know what a sex life looks like. And basically, it was just imagining like what it would be like if I had a happy, healthy, safe sex life with potentially, other girls, a girlfriend, my wife, I don't know. But it was just the possibility of sex not being just a one time transactional thing, but just like a part of, like, like, I don't know, just like an integrated part of your life or something like that. Interesting. But yeah, I guess I'm doing these sex talks without me even knowing it. Anyway, that was really cool. Um, yeah, this video is getting long. Shit. All right. Anyways, so another thing was I met this other. So basically, on Wednesday after I was done with work, I met up with a girl I met last week in Hollywood, and we decided to go to Madame Tussauds and Omax Museum, and we had a lot of fun. It was really cool. So like everything worked out for the best because I got to spend time with the holistic healer from Switzerland, and she was super cool. Voila, très bien. She spoke French and everything. It was really cool. Learned a little bit of French, mon ami. Let's see, and I got to hang out with the other girl too, and like it was like perfect timing, everything. Um, let's see. So it was. I went to a wax museum before by myself, and it was super boring. And this time going with someone, it was way, way, way more fun. Just like playing around, like posing with like, cause you need someone to take pictures of the wax museum. That's like the point, is to like take the funny pictures. And I had a great time. Her name was Iris. So yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Sorry. Damn, Justin get all jealous of you, man. Oh, snap. I hate you. God, no more. God, you suck. Okay, it's recording. Kobe's beating you and he's not even moving. Come on. Oh!
That was really cool. Let's see. Okay. Besides that, I did the monthly reflection. I talked about that. Work. I don't really have a grip with work right now. I mean, I'm doing okay with my job, but I really want to do more personal work. And I want to either come in early or stay a little bit later to do some personal work and just advance my portfolio and become more artistically fulfilled. This weekend, I went to a robot pencil workshop, basically, and I talked about that with one of the artists. And he was saying that how how on when he was working at this big company, he actually only worked like 5 maybe 6 hours a day, and because he finished his work real fast. So he finished his work first apparently, and then worked out and YouTubed and like did personal work. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll become faster. And like when I'm doing personal work, it's kind of like investing in myself and being able to do better work at the company. So I'm like, oh cool, that's a interesting and viable long-term idea. Let's see what else. Oh, and then one thing was I kind of got a bad critique. Oh, I felt like it was a bad critique from one of the instructors at the workshop. um, Basically he worked in the game industry, and I worked in the theme park industry. And he was basically telling me how, like, oh, when you draw this stuff for the kids, nowadays the industry, people want it like photorealistic, and you got to make it look really real and stuff, with the 3D modeling. And in my mind, I was just kind of like, no, that's absolutely not correct. People have been doing the photorealistic architectural rendering stuff for ages. for children's stuff, people want it to be hand drawn, illustrated, and cartoony, and people want the realistic stuff for the older, more sophisticated, like hotels or zoos or museums or aquarium. That's where photorealism is needed. And I guess I felt two things. One was I was a little bit angry because I was like, okay, this person doesn't know what he's talking about. He's kind of incompetent. And then I was like, I was being really hard on this guy. You know, he was really good intentioned. And maybe I was kind of projecting myself on him. I was like, you're not good enough, so you're not good enough, or something like that. And then the second thing I was just thinking of, I felt kind of maybe it was, I felt alone. Like, okay, this guy I really look up to, he can't help me. Like he doesn't, like he's good intentioned, but he doesn't know what he's talking about, and I kind of have to do this by myself. And in some ways that gives me strength because it's like, okay, Chris, this instructor dude who you like, he can't help you. It's all you. And you know, that's how it kind of felt. Um, yeah, and I guess I'm fine with that, you know, whatever. Um, let's see. But you know, overall it's still helpful. It was a really motivational workshop. So I'm glad about that. So let's see, what are my takeaways this week? I think my takeaways this week are, you know, just go with the flow, perfect timing, everything will work out. You know, as I observed with Lucian and Iris, you know, and also, um, let me see, do personal work at work, and you know, sometimes you just need to figure it out. Not everyone can help you, and I think a good analogy I thought of was, let's say you're asking people like, oh, how do you become manners, right? And then the manners in Asia and Japan and the manners in America are really different. It's basically, I'm like, oh, okay, so how do I be really polite in Japan? And maybe some in America is like, oh, you gotta be really confident. You gotta look at them in the eye. You wanna shake their hand. You wanna give them a hug, kiss on the cheek, whatever. And it's like, oh no, in Japan, like that's absolutely, you don't do that. You freak people out. In Japan, it's all about like bowing, and you wanna avert the eyes down to show respect and everything like that. And it's just a cultural thing. And you know, I just realized sometimes you just gotta figure things out by yourself. Especially because in the theme park industry, it's not a lot of artists are, it's really old, it's not a really whatever, but basically I kind of feel like I'm in this by myself and I need to figure things out. Or maybe I'm not, maybe there are a lot of people I can ask for help with, but I want to be different and unique. I don't know, something to think about. All right, I think that's about it. I hope the audio quality is good.